Welcome back to Weekly Thought Fuel with Keith and Sarah at the Leaders ICM. We are mid-series about developmental disruptions and what it takes us to move between the stages along the vertical journey. Today we're going to be talking about 3 to 4, and we've already done a series that kind of explains the length of the journey. But specifically, Keith, what are the types of disruptions that help us move off of 3 into 4?
Oh gosh, this one is so complicated, and I brought this out. The entire third section of the book is about this, and it's 100 pages of the kinds of things you can do. And I think probably if you're into this and you're thinking, what can I do? This is going to be a little quick overview, but you need to go deeper. The biggest thing is, again, you're going from outside in to inside out during this critical transition in your life. But there are, Sarah, in a funny way, there's kind of two halves to that journey, and it's like a judge's scale. It's like, am I more 3 dominant? Am I more 4 dominant? Well, the job when you're more 3 dominant is different than the job when you're more 4 dominant. Even though during both of these times you are trying to ask yourself the basic question: what's the story I want to tell? Who do I want to be? You're trying to become self-authored. But I think maybe the thing that's interesting about this, and maybe information that we don't talk about that much on these, is that when you're in the 3 dominant half of the journey, you still need outside sources to help you become inside out. You still need to be outside in to become inside out. And so what you're going inside out about is what kind of person do I want to be? What sort of values do I want to have? And then you're saying, okay, who can help me understand that in a way where it becomes real?
So this is where people find mentors a lot and role models, and find books by people that they really admire, right? So help me figure out how to become that type of person.
And every one of those resources is a great resource. I know that for me in my 20s, my gosh, I had like a mentor radar up all the time. I was like, and who can help me? Who do I like that has turned out? I like the way they turned out. Who can? I don't know. Did you have a version of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then certain books and certain authors become important. And by the way, books and authors can become important in the second half of the journey, but the reasons are different. And
so talk about that then, from kind of the 3.5 to 4 stage. What is that look like compared to the 4.5?
So when we become more 4 dominant, I think we are still answering the question, who do I want to be? What's the story I want to tell? But now we are almost holding outside sources at bay, things that are trying to define us. And I don't know, it's almost like they become irritants, especially the further along the journey we get. Right before level 4, one of the phrases we use all the time is I know that this is bugging me, but it's bugging me that it's bugging me, right? And so it's like I'm trying to hold that at bay. So that's a new piece of information about this. This is a deep dive into this, and I don't know, maybe we can do a whole nother series on this transition at some other point. But until we see you next week, we hope you have a great week.
Take care.